Hi everyone, thanks for joining. We have two gateway artifacts to take a peek at. On this one there are some very defined portraits that are just smaller than maybe you would expect. This one here is very easy to see, it's very defined. You can see how the circular eye is done right there. Just ignore this section and look at it like this. You can see how that is a statue. And many of these are meant to, of course, have your hand on them. They're kind of interactive. And what I'm doing is I'm zooming in on this eye. You can see how the curve is done. The eye. I have to kind of be a little quiet, so I'm gonna whisper just a bit. Not to be all ASMR on you guys, but currently where I'm living at, I have neighbors that are very close by, so I can't make loud videos. And we're gonna flip this around. On the other side of this, of course you guys are seeing this silhouette here, the human in the stone. And we're gonna flip this around just a bit and I'll show you a few more. This one is cracked like the other ones that we have studied. It's almost as if you drop it, it will break apart, and I believe that was meant to happen. They cemented them back together after they broke them, and it was probably part of the crafting. Maybe it was different families coming together, it's hard to say, but this is about a 40-pound stone here. It's a huge totem, and I'll move it slowly. There's some polish on it, so a lot of the features that I find on the small stones I found on this very large one, and so I had to drag it out of the area where it came from. Now, with respect, I do this, and this probably is the giant duck head. So we have the bird. It looks very rudimentary at this point, but this is the bird's wing, but it's also another bird head, I'm sure. Just give me a moment, guys. You're gonna see some things on this crystal. This is a polished crystal that has knobs on one side. It's completely opaque. It is a totem. You can see the eye and the mouth. Just feeling this, it's very smooth, and I'm gonna zoom in on some of that polish for you. See it? Inside of this polish are silhouettes and humans. This is polished, it seems like by hand almost. Go ahead and zoom back out here, and I'm gonna flip this over for us. The main whole image, especially once you bring it away, is of the woman with the eye. You can see the circle eye there. And this is all over her headdress here. Big bonnet, hair, and probably birds on top of the head. But when I flip this over, if it's hour in the night, you're gonna see a dramatic change. These are what we call the gateway artifacts, and they are painted opaque or black. On one side, you can see the Paleolithic hominid human character presented here with this signature mouth. And on the interior, we're looking at the outside edge now, but on the interior, there are also images. So you see that white speck right there, representing the pupil. That's intentional. And the recessed face with the nose poking out. What I mean by surface imagery is that if you cover all this up, this section that's carved on the interior is another image on its own. You can see the forehead of this person, and if you look closely, you'll see another human on the person's forehead. They were sharing their knowledge, and people learned from each other, and they represented that in their art. You can see this black opaque human figurine just put onto the stone. And much like a totem pole, it's image on top of image, face on top of face. And if you don't know about this, I encourage you to look at modern indigenous art, where you'll see much of the same. Face on top of face. Not just one statue, but 50 or 60 different statues in one. You can see this giant carving for this beautiful eye. And you may not be able to see everything at once, of course, but the shadows, the carvings become quite clear after you examine it for a little bit of time. So I've been studying this all day. I had some folks come out and look at some of these weird characters with me. And that was fun, but it is exhausting. And as I tell people, I don't know what they can see, because it's tough for me to know what you guys can see. So let me know if any of this is poking out to you, or if you guys can't see it at all, because it is tough to know. These are just a few of the crystal effigies that I pulled out today, and I just wanted to share them with you. I've been making a few shorts, and this video will probably take a long time to upload because, unfortunately, where we're at. Here's another great example. It just has bad internet. Another great example of where we have the outside image with the carving for the eye, right here. Okay. But then on the interior edge here, there's other people. A lot of these you can see now are just two eyes facing at us. That art does exist. However, I don't like the ones that are facing at us. Like, I don't study those too much. I like the ones that are at an angle because they have more detail, as you can see. So this very large stone can become very thin, very small. And even though it's very large, it's extremely light. We always wonder what the Paleolithic people look like, or maybe what they saw themselves as. They were proud, obviously. You can see this statue. They were proud, they were strong. And part of me believes that we are the products of them. Some of these faces look directly at us, and some of them have, profiles like on a coin. And the mammoth, Mr. Mammoth, with the ruffled tuft, even with the lines in it. Mammoth culture, the people that followed the mammoth. I'm super excited, and I'm really happy that I'm here. I collected just a few today, and these are painted. Let me fix our focus. Sorry about our focus there. We'll get that fixed. So this bird here, let me go ahead and pause here. All right, thanks for sticking with me here. There's in the white, that is the head of the bird. So you can see the beak, the eye, and the crest, fluffy, cresty. See how it's kind of ruffled? That's the bird's head. And I'm gonna zoom back out because unfortunately my camera flicks back and forth. So this is the bird positioned, flying, as if it's going this way, onto the middle of the stone, and it's just an indicator, just to let you know to look further into it. The human silhouettes are on the edges, There are men, there are women. There are children, there are fathers, there are mothers, there are grandmothers, there are grandfathers. And I'll try a different angle here. Let's look at right sides. So these story stones were entertainment pieces for the people. So let's take another look at the bird with, of course, the sun on top of its head there, because the rest of this stuff is so complex you can't see it. It's tough for me to explain it, but you can see. They left us these hints with the wing flopping up. You can see it's flying with the moon or the sun. And what it's teaching us is to look further into the carvings. This is a replica of the same thing, but it's invisible, and I understand that. So this is a gateway piece. It's a white crystal that is painted all opaque. This one does, it does not have the opaqueness. They did a different style of art on it. It does have color, of course, on it. This one is a classic gateway, and it is all opaque on one side. And like I said, it's about 45 pounds. But if we're looking at the smooth face here, we're looking at the shine, the carvings. Maybe tilt it. There goes the AC. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Until then.